Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Final Fantasy XVI. This time I'm going to show you how to take down the White Dragon. White Dragon starts off very aggressive. It will use pretty much all of its different type of magic on you right at the start. So it's going to start with a volley of icicles, then sort of some beams, and then it's going to fly into you while casting ice magic. After that point, it kind of calms down a little bit. So you saw there, it has this sort of wing slice attack. We're going to rely on that to use Rook's Gambit. It can do it from either side. It can also swing its head from either side. And then you can use Rook's Gambit or just do a precision dodge for that. But those are the attacks that you kind of want to rely on to get yourself some big will damage. It also has a slam. That slam attack also causes some ice to appear on the floor. So if you do get hit by it, you just want to try to get out of that ice as soon as possible. Luckily, though, if you do a precision dodge, as you saw there, you are able to sort of negate that ice damage while you're in the dodge animation. So, even if you just dodge the slam, it will also count as you dodging the ice as well. So we got a 50% stun there. Threw out a Judgment Bolt after using Deadly Embrace to bring the dragon down. This way, we're able to get a lot of will damage onto it and then get a full stun quicker. You will notice that the boss did that icicle attack where it shoots icicles directly at you. Interestingly, the first two will always go wide. They'll always go to the side. The third one will always be aimed directly at you. So always prepare yourself to dodge the third one. You can kind of ignore the first two unless you're just really out of position for some reason. That third one is always going to come after you. So we've got the boss fully staggered here. We're going to dump everything we have into it. Pile Drive, Aerial Blast, Ignition, Flames of Rebirth, and then we're going to go right into a Limit Break. While we are using our Limit Break, we are going to start summoning Torgal to just sick the boss over and over. This doesn't do a ton of damage, but every little bit helps. The other really interesting thing or nice thing about this is that since we are still in a Limit Break, even though the boss is no longer stunned, you still want to be summoning Torgal at that point, just because your only buttons are going to be square, and then you may as well press up as well. So Emanation is this really interesting beam attack where big icicles show up all over the place, and then they have big sweeping beams coming from all different directions. It looks scarier than it really is. You can basically just pay attention to whatever the beam closest to you is, and then you should have time to react to the others as well. So that's just my advice for that. It seems a little bit scarier than it is. Alright, so other than that, the boss doesn't really get any new attacks until it drops below 50% health. You will notice that the boss starts to put ice breath on the floor. Just back out of that, no big deal. And then again, just keep relying on Rook's Gambit or some other counter moves. Once you get the boss down to 50%, you can use Deadly Embrace, bring it down, and then start laying into it some magic. Judgment Bolt is always a good idea. It does a ton of will damage, basically 25%. And then you can also use other abilities as well to drain the will damage. That's sort of my advice for most bosses in this game, is focus on the will damage over the actual health, because you can get the most health down during a takedown. All right, so Heavenly Host is a crazy ability where the boss does kind of three things at once. So it sends out orbs towards you, and it sends lasers towards you that you can then dodge away from, but then it will sort of set the ground with... It's not on fire, but a star of an icicle shows up on the ground and then cuts it like a pizza. You just got to stand between two of the beams and you'll be safe. However, the boss can weave in physical attacks while that's going on, so you can't just be laser focused on the pizza cutter. You got to also focus on the boss. So just get your position and then look at the boss and then just trust that your position is okay and try not to panic. All right, so we've got our second takedown here. Same thing as before, just unleash all of your magic, your limit breaks, do everything. However, when the boss wakes up again, now that it's super low on health, it's going to get crazy aggressive. Even though the boss is at probably under 25% health at this point, maybe 20%, you can see that we still have some time to go on the clock here. So Dragon Dance is its new attack. It sort of does a wing buffet that pushes you away from the boss, and then basically all of its magic comes out at once. So you have lasers coming down, then you have multiple of these star pizza cutters. The boss will also fly towards you, and then that will spray icicles out at you. However, after it does Dragon Dance, it will sort of stun itself in a way, and it just sits on the floor for a while. So you do have an opportunity here to just do a ton of damage. As long as you yourself don't need to focus too hard on healing yourself back up, you can just treat Dragon Dance as a moment of, okay, stop attacking, just deal with everything, and then the boss will just sort of lay down for me and I could do some more damage. So just treat it as such. Other than that, the boss doesn't really get any new abilities other than Dragon Dance, but it will start to weave things together a bit. So what I mean by that is it can start using multiple attacks at once or just using them all in very quick succession. So you have to be very, very diligent about where you're standing. You don't want to get up against any walls. You want to do your best to stay towards the middle of the arena and have the boss in the middle as well. You'll see that I'm running very far away here because I'm trying to get the boss to move. However, instead I just use Heavenly Host, and now I've got to dodge everything again. So the boss sends out orbs, then lasers, and now pizza cutters, and then Holy Twinning is going to be all of the beams all at once, and the boss is also shooting icicles at me, and now beams, and then finally the boss is going to fly into me, eventually after the final pizza cutter, and then we're going to dodge that. And then you can use Rook's Gambit on that. I tried but failed, but it still gave me the invincibility frames, luckily. That's what I mean. It starts to really weave everything together, and it gets extremely hectic. So during that last 10% health, you're better off just paying attention to the boss, navigating the floor traps, and then wait for the boss to come to you. Otherwise, you're going to get pushed up against a wall, you're going to get out of position, and you're going to eat a ton of damage. This is one of the coolest fights in the game. I think this is one of the best dragon fights since Black Dragon Kalameet in Dark Souls 1. Really love this fight. Really, really cool stuff. All right, but that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Final Fantasy XVI, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below this video. You can also leave a super thanks by clicking the heart icon below this video. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord. The links for those are in the description below. As always, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.